bonheur, ivresse et baiser, tout ce qu'en toi j'ai trouvé. Qu'en as-tu fait, mon amour? Tu m'avais pourtant juré de nous aimer sans retour, des beaux serments échangés du fond de nos cœurs grisés. Qu'en as-tu fait, mon amour? Pourquoi m'avoir tant donné pour tout me reprendre un jour? Amour, tendresse et baiser, bonheur à jamais brisé. Qu'en as-tu fait, mon amour?
I have you now, right here beside me, and you know how you help and guide me. I wonder whether we'll be together a year from today, with every tear you shed in
thing. I just found that the transitions between the light to dark were a little severe. In order to fix that, I'm putting layer after layer on a transparent way here, which is no big deal, but it takes a moment or two to get the right build up. So if you'll bear with me, fair people, I will definitely get this shortly. See, Schwartz, like all of these Baroque artists, were masters at subtlety and color. And the thing is, as you tear it apart, what I mean simply is you analyze it piece bit by bit and bit by bit. You notice the tonal subtleties are quite astounding, to be honest with you. Now, how do you get like this? I don't know. Wish I did, but I don't. If I could, I have been looking and looking and looking and going through archives. And for those who haven't kind of been watching along regarding this, the mystery of all this is simply that this just doesn't happen overnight. You know, like to get this level of painting takes training and practice. There might have been some, like, you know, like a Leonardo da Vinci of art type thing going on. That might have been, but by and large, he knows all of the little oil painter's tricks, you know, the little stuff, which means, I mean, you see, if you're a professional artist, you are listening to Radio Dismute. You kind of can see somebody who's been trained simply because you know if they use all the little techniques that artists use, professional artists use, and now some of those techniques are more modern, for sure, but a lot of them have been around for, God, donkey's years. And they were learned simply by people observing earlier artists, you know, when they found Pompeii in the 17th century and started looking at how the Romans did things and different techniques, and you know, the Renaissance brought all that to the forefront. But the Dutch are particularly like the old line from Butch casting a Sundance Kid. You know, like, who are these guys? Oh God, I don't know. Because it's not just one thing, there's a whole raft of things, and as you do them, one nice thing about doing these studies is of old master art is you look at it, but when you paint it, you pick it apart, and when you do, you just marvel, right? And little wee tricks. So, the jury's out. Who, why, where, what, when. That was a good move. There we go. Because they, for instance, you take a Vermeer. When they first discovered Vermeer, they said, okay, well, there's 60, you say, Vermeers. Now, there's 29, I think. Excuse me for one moment. Behind me, I have a big screen TV, and Google. I have Chromecast, and Google, by their own I guess it's their own programming, puts photographs and paintings up on the screen on a revolving thing, and man, some of their museum quality pieces, and with the resolution, it's just, oh man, just incredible. I'm sorry. I don't watch much TV. In fact, I really don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I watched TV, frankly. I mean, like a show or something. I just don't find it interesting. And in addition to that, there's nothing on I want to watch. Needless to say, though, I like series and whatnot, like the Game of Thrones and whatnot. I like those. If you want to call that TV, I don't call it TV. I don't personally think it's TV. I think it's more like a long extended movie that never stops. But for a sitcom or something, no interest at all. Just a few little things I want to get into this. She deserves it. She may just have been a little peasant girl, but to be honest with you, she's immortal. Well, as close to immortal as you can get, I guess. In my opinion, every woman needs to have her portrait done. But that's just me. It's almost like a given to me, anyway. Men, not so much. But women, absolutely. Needless to say, I'm saying that, but I mean, I'm glad we have portraits of Napoleon, and I'm glad we know what he looks like, and I'm glad Jacques-Louis David did his paintings of him. I'm a great admirer of Napoleon. The little Corsican. And I consider him like probably the greatest military genius who ever lived. In the Western Hemisphere, anyway. I guess you could put Genghis Khan in there as well. Or his favorite general, Subutai, who probably would have taken all of Europe if the Khan hadn't died. There's nothing stopping him. It wasn't as if there was anybody out there who could and I include the Teutonic Knights for anybody who is following. They didn't have any success against the Mongols. A few battles maybe, but not much. Also remember that Mongols had little patience for people who said, you can't do that. Well, you did it at your peril. put another coat on her eyes. Da, 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 da. How am I on Netflix? What do you mean What? Netflix? I'm good. I haven't watched in a couple of nights though. I watched The Alienist and I started something else. Netflix. I do watch a lot of Netflix, but I don't consider that TV either. I'm talking about like episodic TV. You know, like The Big Bang Theory and whatever that is. I've never watched an episode. So I have no idea. I haven't watched it in a long time, really. Many, many moons. Da, 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 da. But Netflix, geez, I love Netflix. Netflix is, to me, the savior of
listener-supported service in early 1900s music preservation, a non-profit organization devoted to
the medium, yeah.
music of the past, the attention of new and appreciative modern audiences. If you enjoy the music we present and value the work that we do,
Mind you, I do watch, in fairness though, I do watch some TV on sports and stuff. Like last night I wasn't on because I watched the Toronto Maple Leaf game.
we'll also be passing on a priceless gift to all those who discover this wonderful music for the first time.
And I'm glad I did. I mean, I enjoyed it. Well, I didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, they lost, but,
early1900s.org.
you know what I mean.
00s.org.
As interview, hi, homie, how you doing? Good to see you. I sent you a little whisper hi. How you doing? Thank you very much. I'm Michael Schwartz in the making. And I got another portrait all set up to do. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do a voile. I'm thinking about doing the Baroness Stroganova. A detail. It's not a well-known portrait, but it really typifies the 17th century portraiture in the Russian courts. And the courts, you know, like Catherine the Great and the Russian aristocracy, he did everybody. He did every countess and count, and he was a great portrait painter. And I've done this painting before. I did it in another medium, and I haven't done it in water. I haven't done it in acrylic, but I think it would translate nicely. So I'm kind of I'm kicking around the idea because I've got a great, and I mean great, photo reference. Just unbelievable. So I'm really, really thinking about it, because the photo reference is so good that, like this one, you know, as long as I can see the detail, then I can analyze it to do it. Like when I used to do them in oil, years ago, I never really had the photo references that you need, right? So this now, because of the internet, everything's gone 4K or whatever they call it, or high def, or whatever it is, high definition. The references are just, oh man, spectacular. I never saw anything like it. It's a forger's dream out there. Really? Just when I think of the money I could be making. But then I think of the jail time. I go, no thank you. Network TV blows. There's got to be a stronger adjective than that. I just can't stand it, really. And you know, like, I use what they call set TV. Settle the states, and gives you like 500 channels or something. And you know, they have them all, Discovery and History Channel and all that stuff. But there's nothing on it. Like, I just cannot bring myself to watch Ice Road Truckers. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like you're the History Channel and you're showing Ice Road Truckers? Like, whatever happened to history? Jesus. There's not enough history for you? You gotta make these $1.99 weekly episodes or whatever to pay the bills, and maybe you should just fold your tent and say goodbye. Because to be honest with you, it's crap. Do I really care? No. Go through the goddamn ice. I don't give a damn. And I don't want to watch crab fishermen or whatever they are, lobster or crab or whatever the hell it is. Probably crabs. Up in the Arctic and all that crap. I don't give a damn. If it's too dangerous, then don't do it. Find else, be a barber or something, you know? Like, why? Like, you know? But it's been going on for years, and I mean, I just can't believe people are so stupid as to believe this crap. You know? The minute you get out of the camera range, there's catering trucks and, you know, trailers with air conditioning, and, you know, like, come on. People just can't be that stupid. Oh, I think we're getting to the much better color here now, to be honest with you. Yes. I almost should give myself a day to look at it, you know, like, I was looking at it last night when I was cruising around in here. And I said to myself, what am I missing here? And so I sat down, went over the drawing again, and yeah. Or not the drawing, but the actual painting again. I went, oh yeah, right. The only thing that's really surprised me on this painting is the similarities to between the styles of Vermeer, for instance, and Schwartz. You know, they were a few years apart, but still, it just goes back to that mystery. You know, like, who the hell taught these guys how to paint? That's going to be a mystery that I'm going to have to work on for a long time. Because no matter who you are, I mean, you pick up in your early paintings, you pick up the style and the substance kind of the person who trained you. It's just the way it is. I mean, you end up painting a very similar style. And that happens. It's just normal. And look at early, well, not so much Da Vinci, I guess, but yeah, early Verrocchio stuff, you know, like when he was younger. But there's got to be a. You can't say it's all Rembrandt, because he painted closer to the style of the Caravaggio, chiaroscuro, and how to, you know, remove dark to lights, and it's very similar to the Caravaggio. And it is known, for instance, that when people started seeing Caravaggio's work, it's well known that oh, Jesus, come on. Oh, there we go. It's well known that people traveled to Rome or Florence to observe these light to dark techniques. And that's why you get Rembrandt painting the way he does, you know? But it all really predates this stuff. Really predates it. So I don't know. I just don't know. But whatever the school was, they all went to it. They all went to the same school. They went to separate schools together. Because it's just, the techniques are so similar. And Schwartz, well, he brought his techniques to Rome, so it's not as if it was a big secret. You know, the Italians used different colors for techniques and whatnot, but it's driving me crazy, to be honest with you. Now everybody's got a school. You know, it's, oh, from the school of this, it's a school of Titian, it's a school of this, whatever. But you don't see it in the Dutch Baroque so much. Because I'm positive some of the paintings that have been attributed to other painters are different people altogether. We just don't know who they are. Because, you know, like Vermeer was an undiscovered. It was undiscovered for centuries, and there are some like there were lists of painters drawn up many moons ago, and like for instance, Vermeer wasn't even included on it. Figure that one out. Did he predate it, or? That's the question. Did he? Maybe. Or maybe he didn't have a big enough body of work, or maybe he wasn't well known enough outside Delft. That's also possible. Like, even though Switter was, they know about him now, but they didn't know about him for quite some time. I don't know if he was included or not. I think so. So they do know quite a bit about him because of his time in Rome. But it's not as if they know, like, that the records are so spotty, right? So you kind of have to get all your information from the influence of or the writings of people about other artists. That's the thing, right? So they'll mention them, or a collector, or when a collector dies. You know, that's the thing that, like Catherine the Great. That's what she did. She sent her agents out to the Netherlands, Holland, to buy up a whole bunch of Dutch Renaissance Baroque paintings. That's that one that's in the North Sea. And it's sunk in the North Sea, and they found it. So can you imagine if they bring that up? God. It will be the biggest art find in history. If they survive. That's the thing, if they survive. And they'll be down there for a while yet. Because the Russians are claiming them, and the Norwegians are saying, are you out of your mind? They're ours. Norwegian territorial waters and all that. Well, we'll see. The truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter. They've been under so long, either they're still okay or they're not. Because the beauty of it is the water is so cold, there's very little oxygen in the water. Therefore, very next to no bacteria at all. And that's what would eat the canvas. So even though the canvases for sure probably would have rotted away, you wouldn't necessarily have it rotted away if it was the oil painting. Because I don't know if you know this, but when they repurpose restore an oil painting canvas, what they often do, they'll lay the painting flat down, and what they do is they dissolve the layer of canvas on top of it, or then the top of it, and so all that you're left with is oil paint and the ground, whatever ground they use. And then what they do is they apply new canvas, linen, to it, and then what they do is they turn it right side up, and it's a new canvas. And the new canvases are all treated for herbicides, not herbicides, but fungicides and all this stuff. So it's a technique that's well known. This isn't new by any means. So, very possible that, yeah, the canvas is rotted away, but the painting's still intact. Just remember, it takes 90 years for an oil painting to actually dry. And then what happens is it cracks. So it's not as if... It isn't as if... the stuff isn't durable by any means. Geez, come on in there. What are you doing? Johannes Vermeer, the 36th painting? I didn't know there was that many paintings. Really? I thought there was only 30. I know that originally it was about 60, but they... I gotta tell you too, though, you know, that back in the day, there was no copyright, eh? So what would happen would be, if somebody really liked a painting, you could go to another artist and say, go look at that painting and make me one. And they would do that. In fact, even the same artist might do a really popular painting more than once. It wasn't uncommon at all. Because after all, I mean, you have to think in terms of, you know, nobody was making, well, they were making prints, I should say that. They were making prints in the woodcuts. But not actual colored prints. You have to go all the way to Toulouse-Lautrec to get up to that level, which is a long time after this. A long time. Da, 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 da. You gotta be shitting me. I did in the wrong spot. Fuck. Sorry folks, but my measurement's off. It's not off really, I just put an indication on the sketch of where this was and now I've had to change it. That's okay. No big whoop. Mind you, if I was oil painting, you'd hear me swearing. You'd hear me, oh, damn. So I was looking at my oil painting of the girl with the pearl earring, the one I did some time ago. And I gotta tell you, does it ever matter about the reference? You know, like, holy Moses. Really. I can see every little thing that I steered wrong on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's there. But it's the little things that really, it's amazing. Don't mind, I'm using an oil painter's trick here. I'm mixing it right on the blasted canvas here. Because I want the color. Threw a little bit of ambient light in here that he did. Don't you know? Which is okay. Except that it there we go. I'm gonna have to knock that back a little bit, but because it does go a bit of a gray. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Just hoping just to get a little bit of white in there. Yeah. Just a little bit. Just along the edge, yeah. That's acrylic for you. It all comes down to timing, right? Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you see me put lots of layers of glaze on this one side. I want that glow. Believe it or not, it's not hard to get in oil, but it's hard to get in it's hard to get in acrylic. There are a couple of techniques to use though, so not like it's the end of the world or anything. Geez, I want a little bit, not that much. So I'm giving a little bit of streak in here, like a dry brush streak, so I can go over it with some glazes. Because I want that linen look. So I want it hanging, but I want it to look, well, you know, the linen. Linen, damn it, linen. So I'm doing a bit of cross brushing here to let it hang, but okay. So I should let that dry for a minute. And I'll go up here. And I'll get a little bit of this in. Before looking over four-leaf clover. Over a four-leaf clover that I before. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover I overlooked before. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover I overlooked before. Da, da, da. I finally got a copy of that movie on Set TV. I haven't watched it yet, which is that Jennifer Lawrence movie, Red Sparrow, I think it's called. Anyway, it took forever to hit the movie channels. I know it's some sort of spy story or something, but I'm not really familiar with it. I'm not a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan. I mean, I don't know anything about the girl. I don't mean that. I just mean that everybody seems to talk about her like she's God's gift to femininity. Oh man, I don't see it, but anyway. I don't even think she's that pretty, frankly. Anyway, it's a movie she's in, and I think it was well received, but I never heard a thing about it after it came out. So, but I heard about it. I read about the story. It was a book, and I was going to read the book, and I thought, I'll just watch the movie first. If the book's good, then if the movie's really good, then I'll read the book. And I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and finally it makes its appearance. I was hoping it's kind of like the Americans, you know, like with Kerry Russell in it. Which apparently is in its last season, the Americans. I just finished watching the series The Alienist. Man, was that good. I hope they renew that one. Mind you, it was just the one book, so I don't know. They'll have to make up the whole new storyline. So, but they got all the actors there. I think. Wait a minute. I don't think I'm telling you the truth. There may have been a sequel, but I didn't read it. But it didn't happen like right away. It was a long time. Da, 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 See, here's what can rot your shorts. And that being the cloth on the top of her shirt is different than the cloth on her head, right? Da, 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 da. Da, dee. Da, 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 da.
Follow the crowd to your Central Aid dealer's used car clearance sale. See the values, read the price tag. They tell the story of unparalleled values that cannot be equaled elsewhere.
Okay, what am I doing? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da. Da da da. Da 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 da.
Who writes the words of music for all the girly shows? No one cares and no one knows who is the handsome hero. Some villain always praised, but who cares if there's a What do you go for?
Da 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 da.
You go to see the beautiful day. You don't for okay to throw for all the good.
Da 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 da.
All day, a temporary place. You stay, you don't recall their name. Do addresses linger in your memory of the beautiful day.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dun, 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 dun.
You never miss your kisses and your caresses too. I hate myself for falling in love with you. To think you'd be unfaithful when I was so too blue. I hate myself for falling in love
With you.
I never thought that you would leave me, that you'd deceive me, you played a game. I should have known the night I kissed you, I couldn't resist you, was I to blame? I guess I'm only human, what else was there to do? I hate myself for falling in love with you.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
You are listening to Radio Dismute.
RadioDismute.com, HappyMusicRadio.com.
The Peters Orchestra play as their first selection, Sweet Jenny Lee.
Dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Radio Dismute is a listener-supported service of early 1900s music preservation, a non-profit organization devoted to bringing the great forgotten music of the past to the attention of new and appreciative modern audiences. If you enjoy the music we present and value the work that we do, please consider giving us your support to whatever degree you're able. Your contribution will not only ensure that the music will also be passing on a priceless gift to all those who will discover this wonderful music for the first time as a result of our efforts. For more information, go to www.early1900s.org. That's early1900s.org.
Dum, dum, dum.
Out of my dreams, out of my dreams. As long as you won't come into my arms, stay out of my dreams. Why should I stand here dreaming of living? Either let me have those or leave me alone. Each minute or two, I wake up so blue, dreaming of with somebody new. Oh, when I love you, you know. Why do you talk to me so? Stay out of my dreams, or else come into my arms.
I'll go in here and I'll give it a go. All I can think of is I erased the wrong line on my original sketch. I must have. What the fuck happened here? Strange. I've been concentrating so hard on the face that I didn't even notice. Weird. I bet. These things happen. Not to worry. You're gonna have to alter the whole painting a bit though. Which doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference, frankly, but a little bit. After all, it is a study, so. Oh, is that what I did, maybe? I went way too far in there. That makes a hell of a lot of difference, mind you. Oh, strange, but... Da, 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 da. Da 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 da. Dun, dun.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off.
Radio Dismute is now on Facebook. Find us at facebook.com/Radio Dismute.
Streaming the sounds of the 1920s and 1930s.
I'm just rolling along on the breeze, sing a song.
do I, honey, did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I, honey, did I do?
Dun, dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
glad that I'm the one who found you.
You.
That's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey, did I do?
I do. I do.
There are lots of others that I have met. Those you meet today, tomorrow forget. You're the only one who ever could stand the test. That's the reason why I choose you from the rest. You're the best. Do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did
I do.
I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'm always hanging.
You. Let's have another cup of coffee.
It doesn't take so much to make me happy. So when my job is over every day, to sit beside the fire is all that I desire, and just to help me pass the time away. Oh, the old kitchen kettle is singing a song for me. And the song singing a song, I'm happy as can be. I have my ups, I have my downs, but I keep smiling when the whole world frowns. But the old kitchen kettle singing a song for me.
Da 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 da.
I go to bed and wake next morning with a great big head. But the old kitchen kettle keeps singing a song
Da 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 da.
I've heard about you, each word about you, that everyone has spoken. And from the things I hear, I should be careful, dear. They come and find me, and then remind me of all the hearts you've broken. But I'm in love with you, so what am I to
Doo-doo-doo.
I'm playing with fire. I'm going to get burned. I know it, but what can I do? I know my heart must be content to go where it is sent, although I may repent when I'm through. But what can I do?
I'm playing with fire. I'm going to get burned while merry-go-rounding. But I go for my ride with my eyes open wide. I'm playing with fire. I know it, but what can I do?
How's your present car running? Does it need repairs? Does it waste gas and oil? If the answer to these questions is yes, then see your Ford dealer. Your present car may cover the down payment on a dependable R&G used car. R&G means renewed and guaranteed. Each car with the R&G label is thoroughly inspected and guaranteed by your Ford dealer to be in A1 condition. If after you've driven your R&G used car, you are not completely satisfied, return it within 2 days and get your money back in full. Ford dealers' R&G used cars are available in late models of all different makes. Convenient terms may be arranged to fit any budget.
Da, 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 da. Ah. Da, da, da.
I wish I had wings. Wonder there'd be no trouble if I had wings. The little bird sings. We can fly up but here am I with my worry and care, and all my dreams get me nowhere. I wish I had wings, wonderful wings. Slowly be, I could be free if I had wings. Hitting the ceiling, breaking through to the sky. Oh, what a feeling, oh, what a feeling, when you're hitting on high. Take a flyer to the sky, or else you'll be a fly. Higher, higher, higher. to the top, hitting the ceiling, hitting the ceiling, breaking through to the sky. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes, you're beautiful. Yes, and baby, what's more, life is heavenly and yours forever. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes, you're wonderful. You're the hit of the show, you're a cameo, loveliness. Oh, what eyes you have, oh, what lips you have, oh, what lovely features. Talk about adorable creatures. You have so many thrillables that I'm all out of syllables. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes, you're marvelous. Gloria, you are simply divine. Top to tip, you're tip top, but top it all, you're mine.
You are listening to Radio Dismute.
RadioDismute.com, HappyMusicRadio.com.
For love, simply because
might have been
oh,
different as night and day. If you hadn't said I love you, just to have something to say, things might have been so different right from the very start. But you only wanted kisses, roses and gone. So why should sweethearts remember that lovely glamour they paid with a dog? Things might have been so different. We to be friends today. If you hadn't just to have something to say.
Hello, Victor on. I was spinning yarn that was told to me by Abel Jones. Once he had the blues, so he took a cruise far away from nightclubs and from saxophones. He said, yo-ho, I made a certain sport. And when you talk about real He-Man sport, hot ginger and dynamite, there's nothing but that at night. Cracky, where the goes to the cracky and the wind with cracky woo. The way they can entertain would hurry a hurricane. Cracky, where the goes to the cracky and the wind with cracky woo. Oh, Fiji-yama, you get a mama, and then your troubles increase. In some pagoda, the autumn soda, the earth shakes, milkshakes, and their feet. They kissy and huggy night, by jingles worth of time. Cracky, where the goes to the cracky and the wind with cracky woo. Now when the day is warm, you can keep informed with the golden price beneath a parasol. Every gentleman has to use a fan, and they only wear suspenders in the fall. That's where the gals don't think of rings and spurs. It's the grandest place that ever was. They give you a carriage free. The horse is Japanese. Wacky, where the fellas chew tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo. They sit you upon the floor. No wonder the fancy song. when you had enough. Slacky, knacky, slacky, with the fellow shield of backy and the wind is wacky, woo.
I've tried to overcome her vanity, and then I can't again. I'm young and healthy.
Sunny Meadows with the buttercups and cowslips are always picturesque, and a Sunny Meadows program with Mary Williams is more than picturesque. It is refreshing and inviting. And what's the story today, Mary?
I ain't got nobody.
I don't believe it.
Now there's a saying going around, then I begin to think it's true. It's awful hard to love someone when they don't care about you. Once I had a loving man, just as good as any in this town. But now I'm sad and lonely, 'cause he's gone and turned me down. And I ain't got nobody, and there's nobody cares for me. And I'm so sad and lonely. Now won't somebody come and take a chance with me? I'll sing sweet love songs, honey, all
Music is a listener
Well, folks, that's it for tonight.
nonprofit organization.
Thanks for watching.
Great forgotten music of the
See y'all soon.
new and appreciative of modern audiences. If you enjoy the music we present and value the work that we do,